am gonna sort of squeeze you today, honestly, because I wanted to do this ages ago with you, but I never had a chance, or we never had a chance. And today I've got like, let me have a look, about 30 odd questions.
Oh
I
my
have never
goodness.
I've never had an artist with 30 odd questions, but I've got all these 30 odd questions. That shows how much I wanna talk to you about. So, are you ready for me? Have you got your cup of coffee? Have you got everything ready?
I've got everything ready, my water, myself, my brain, everything, and my
Brilliant.
popo.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Guys, get yourselves a cup of tea as well, or a gin, or a beer, or whatever you
Whatever.
drink. Sit down and enjoy this chitty chat. It's an absolute. I have got so much, because obviously we can't talk to Leila about one thing and not the other. It's impossible. Leila comes as one as a package, so you have to take the whole package. The lecturer, the actress, the choreographer, the everything. So, right. Okay. Leila, welcome on board. مرحبا بك. مرحبا مرحبا مرحبا.
يخليك طول عمرك طول عمرك شكرا, and thank you so much, Nawara, because it gives me an opportunity, thanks to you and your platform, to share ideas about dance, life, what's going on around, which matter to me.
Absolutely. And thank you for giving us this opportunity to sit down with you and sort of, chat to you. So, Leila, how is life? How's Paris after the lockdown? How's friends after the lockdown?
Well, I mean, it's quite all right. I mean, first of all, I felt it's going to be look strange or seem strange, but I felt blessed with a lockdown. If it's not the dramatic point of losing lives, and I mean, this pandemic was very, very, I mean, heartbreaking for people getting diseased and die, etc. I mean, for me, it was a kind of retreat, just put myself together, read more because I had more time, dance all the time, jump all over the place, and just be with myself. So, I mean, for me, it was a blessing. I took it this way because we were healthy. And so now after the lockdown, it's getting better because, Paris with the cafes and restaurants, etc. We need this little bit of craziness.
Pastries, la pâtisserie française, bien sûr, les
Yeah, the
croissants, les
croissant,
millefeuilles. Oh, Paris.
the
Oh.
baguette. Yeah, so it's, I mean, like streets are getting more lively, and everybody's in the streets, the weather is not too bad. So and people, it's kind of like, after being imprisoned, it's like, wow, freedom again. So everybody's out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we are like this in the UK, and I think we're not even out of the full lockdown yet. And the parks are full, and supermarkets are full, and the shops were supposed to be opening tomorrow. And I bet there's going to be queues in our shops tomorrow in the UK. So watch the media; they might be talking about it. So
But
wonderful.
sorry, I have to add something.
Go on.
Unfortunately, I mean, like cafes, restaurants, shops, etc., are reopening, but everything which has to do with culture, meaning theaters, all the festivals, like name it, jazz festival, music, dance, theater, etc., everything is on stop. So this is not good because, I mean, we need culture. It's our spiritual food.
Of course.
So this is still not so well.
It is, and you know what? The same thing in here. There's no festivals, there's no cultural events happening, and obviously, yeah. Let's hope for the best, and let's hope
Yeah,
things,
absolutely.
ease off soon. So yeah, right, Leila. Who is Leila Haddad? Tell us about your childhood. How did you grow up? Memories.
Okay, my memory, of course, goes far back in Tunisia. I was raised in Tunisia. I have my father with descent from Aleppo, from Syria, but he was born in Tunisia, but it's the origin of his family.
Yeah.
So from my dad side, he's Arab. My mother is a Berber. So I have these two origins and I fight for them. I mean, I always say I'm an Arabo-Berber. I don't forget Berber. Yeah, because North Africa was and is Berber.
Yes,
I mean,
we are.
sorry,
Yeah.
we start. Anyway, so I was raised in a family, funny enough, where art was very important. Like example, my mother was playing kisara, I mean the harpsichord.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was a painter, but this was not her job, her day job,
Okay.
because we did not consider artistic fields like could feed a human being. And it's not, let me put this more clear.
Yes.
It's not because she was a woman. My uncle was a very fine oud player
Yes.
and had a beautiful voice,
Yeah.
but my grandfather said, you study, and if you want to play oud, play it for the family. So because they were afraid of artistic fields, because they say it cannot feed a family regularly.
Yeah.
So let's go out of the thing of women and men versus men. It's not that. We considered, unfortunately, that being an artist, I mean, living of art, was not sufficient.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a family where my grandmother was a very fine poet and singer, but in the family, we always within the family gathering.
Yes.
My aunts and uncles used to play an instrument. So of course, me, I was, believe it or not, I was a very shy little girl. Nobody believes anyway.
No, I don't.
The only way for me to express myself as far as I remember was to dance. I mean, like in a gathering, weddings, whatever ceremony there was at home or outside, I would hide all the time. But as soon as I would hear the music, I would jump in the middle, dance, 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 and then music stops, whoop again, I hide under the table. To such a point, I have a memory which is not, I mean, funny for me now.
Yeah.
But I came back from school, I must have been like 6 years old or so. I don't know, I was very little.
Yeah.
And then I come home, my uncle died, but I didn't know. No, the thing is that I saw a gathering, I thought it was a feast. So I threw up my bag, my school bag, went in the middle and buru, buru, buru. I mean, I remember the slaps on my popo this day was like, I cried all my tears out. And you understand, for me, a gathering is dancing. That's it.
Exactly. That was the belief. Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful. I bet they went like Moroccans do.
Exactly. It was like, my God. Exactly. It was really a catastrophe.
Yeah.
But don't take it from a pretentious point of view. But when I was born and I started growing up, I grew up knowing, it's funny enough, is it maybe spiritual, mystic, or karma, I don't know, but I was a dancer.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I was a dancer, that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about the field of dance, professional, blah, 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 Oriental, Sharky, whatever.
Yeah.
I saw myself as a dancer.
Yeah.
And this was my main activity.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and you are. And you are. How you are.
My childhood, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe my so-called mission is to dance on this life.
Yeah.
But whatever happens, I dance at home or on stage, I'm a dancer. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely wonderful. There you are, there you are. Right, before we carry on with question, can I just ask the viewers to please share this live video? Please share the live video if you may, or host a watch party if you can for us. It's because I'm doing it through Zoom. It doesn't give me the viewers' numbers like it does with the other streamline. So please, please do share if you can. That would be wonderful if you could. Right, we're going to carry on. Right, Leila. So that was going to bring me to ask you, how did you start dancing? So obviously, dancing's in you, but when did you realize you are a skillful dancer? You are Leila Haddad. You're going to start dancing. When did you realize that? At which point of your life did you realize that?
Yeah. So when I finished my secondary school, as we say in French, you know, baccalaureate, I don't know the equivalent in England.
GCSEs, yeah.
The what?
They call it in English the GCSEs. I only knew that because my daughter does it. So the baccalaureate, well, we have baccalaureate in French
Yeah,
or in Morocco or Tunisia,
exactly.
GCSEs, yeah.
So I decided not to go to Paris to study, but to England. So I went to London.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about like politics. If people ask me, are you right wing, left wing? I didn't know if it was an orange or an apple. I didn't know nothing. I knew dance, sport, blah, blah, chuk chuk, that's all.
Yeah.
So one time, a friend of mine from Zimbabwe took me to see a play. It was in Brixton, and it was the Zulu theater, called the Zulu Theater.
Okay.
It was a troupe of students from different origins, from different countries, but the director was Senegalese.
All right. Okay.
And the aim and the mission of this Zulu theater was to denounce apartheid in South Africa and for liberation of Mandela.
Wow.
So I went there, and this was the shock of my life.
Or a changing point.
I was born that day.
Yeah, changing point.
Yeah. So, you know, it's going to sound naive, but at that time I didn't know anything. I knew like the theater to see, you know, classical pieces like Molière, Shakespeare, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the political theater. I didn't know by you sitting in a theater, you get a message for peace, for reunion, tolerance. So it was a really, I mean, a big shock. So I decided I will approach this director and ask if I could come to the rehearsals when they do open rehearsals for the public, you know, this type of thing.
Of course.
And of course, he said, yeah, okay, why not?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I used to go every time as I could, and they allow me. One day, the director was sitting next to me, and he said, like that, you know, he said, would you like to join us and play with us? I mean, like act with us. I said yes. Like, you know, somebody asking me, do you want to make a ride on the motorbike? I said yes, without, I mean, like, and then he said, okay, you start tomorrow. Oh my God. When I went home, I said, I don't know anything about theater, how to place your voice. I don't know anything.
Nothing.
And it was not even my dream. I mean, I swear, I mean, I didn't dream to be like the dancer, the actor, nothing, zero, nothing. So I started rehearsals, and I have also a funny story. I mean, this, you know, dramatic plays, you know, denouncing the racism, apartheid, and me, I have a talk. I always arrange my knickers. So my friends told me, I mean, like, come on, you take, say a text, terrible text, and you are arranging your knickers. I mean, to tell you at such a point, I was not aware of, you know, being on stage. And that moment, the miracle happened to me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing theater. Yeah. I fell in love with stage and theater. I didn't know I was ready to clean the theater, to change the bulbs, to do anything, but I knew I had to be on stage. Even to clean, I told you, to whatever.
Yeah.
So this was the start of my love story with theater.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
in this theater, with the
Yeah.
Zulu theater, we were doing three things:
Yeah.
acting,
Yeah.
singing, and dancing.
Wow.
Not sharky, nothing. I mean, it was
No.
related to the story we're saying.
Of
So
course.
singing, of course, I was in the choir. I was not
Yeah.
the lead singer because if I sing, it's going to rain for 2 weeks. You know, I'm the goddess of rain. So if there is a country who is suffering of no rain, they ask me to come. I
Yeah.
sing, it's going to, anyway. But for dance, I was always in the middle of or in front.
Yeah.
So little by little, you know, one time I heard that there was a festival, nothing to do with rock sharky again, nothing.
Yeah.
Called Dance Without Frontier.
Yeah.
There was one in London and one in Paris. So
Okay.
genuinely, because everybody was telling me, oh, you dance well, blah, blah, blah. I wrote because it was going to be like a choreography of 15 to 20 minutes
Yeah.
for new choreographers.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was contemporary dance. I didn't know anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
the director accepted to meet me, not because he knew me, he knew the Zulu theater and
Yeah.
important. So he accepted to meet me. And he said, oh, well, okay, you have prepared something, it will be that date. And he said, sorry, what type of dance do you do? I mean, is it Merce Cunningham, Martha Graham style? I was like, you know, in the middle of like, no, I mean, I didn't even understand what
The wrong person, love, the
about.
wrong person.
And then genuinely, I told him, no, you know, I dance Oriental dance. And he did that to me. No, not here.
Ah.
Wait. So because I don't accept a no for no reason, because I'm
Yeah.
stubborn here,
Yeah.
I did not understand. So I went to Paris, presented my to be on audition, and again, when he said, "Okay, what type of contemporary?" Because you have diverse tendencies. So
Of
I
course.
said,
Yeah.
"No, it's Danse Orientale, Oriental dance."
Yeah.
And then I had another answer. So like he looked at my bottom and say, maybe we can talk about it one evening. So I could not understand why I was receiving that type of reaction,
Of course. Yeah.
like rejection or wow, wow. I mean, like, and even the word, I swear to God, I swear, Allah, that even the word, like, you know, what we say in the West, belly dance, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew, I knew Raqs Sharki,
Oh.
which is traduction,
Yeah.
directly translated, Danse Orientale. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest,
Which
I don't know.
which is going to bring me because I'm going to ask you that later
Yeah, I
on. I
know.
have.
I will talk about that after.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because, you know, let's say you go to an audition
Yeah.
and you audition and then your act, the people are not happy with you. I understand that because at least they saw something, but without seeing nothing, they
Yeah.
say no to me. So I said, I swear, I'm going to dance to the best venues. I will perform in the best theaters in the world, and I will show them what I mean by Oriental dance. So it started with a bet with myself
Yeah.
because only they refused me. So
Yeah.
otherwise, I wouldn't be here, maybe. You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
I had other goals at that
Yeah.
moment. I was studying literature. I had different dreams. I was dancer anyway. So this is, we don't talk about it anymore. But I
Yeah.
didn't see myself, you know, like, oh, I saw dance and I took a dance lessons and oh my God, oh, I want it. Not at all. Well, I say the truth, not at all. I was a
Yeah.
dancer, LEILA HADDAD, with myself in
Yeah.
front of my mirror every day.
Yeah.
my grandfather praying in a corner, Allahu Akbar, and me, Bura bara badu mataka. So, I mean, like, and that's it. I was happy with that. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I didn't look for something else. It's just my meetings, my encounters in life, my openness to theater at this moment, fighting for something noble, you know, fighting for a cause. That's what made me love theater. You know, like text, like I love you, you love me, let's go to bed. I don't care. But because I believed, you know, you can educate the people by bringing things to the theater. That's how I started it all. And then again, the dance the same. Somebody told me, you should present your work, blah, blah, blah. And I did it. So because they refused, and at that time I came for personal reasons, came to Paris, continue my studies. So like a militant, like an activist, I fought this. Okay, the theaters, they don't want me yet. If I teach, and let's say example, I thought like this, I have 10 students. One student knows 10 people. So it makes 100 people understanding my culture.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking about that. If I tell them what I think about the dance, they will, you know, tell to their friends, and then expand my culture. Absolutely. It was like, you know, really like a militant, you know, when every morning you distribute the free newspaper to say like revolution, fight for the people. It was like that. I took it at the beginning. Now the first fight, another one is, I don't want to have my own studio because I don't like ghettos. I want me, as Leila Haddad.
Of course.
As Leila Haddad. I wanted to teach in the best schools of Paris. I wanted to be among the family of the dancers, like where they teach ballet, Indian, flamenco, jazz, and name it. So even for that, I fought because I was the first one. You know, when you say you do Oriental, there's a
Really.
what else? I mean, like that's it. I mean, like even that I had to fight. No school would like wanted to hire me. So I heard that I must pay credit to American people. Sometimes it's good. I met an American tap dancer, Sarah Petronio, very famous. She had her school. And then I called her. I was fed up. I heard about her. I said, look, I never studied dance, I mean, a formal way. Never taken any lessons. My teachers are mother, sister, aunts, neighbors. I love dance. That's it. She said, okay, when can you start? You know, because I didn't know how to teach. I didn't know. You know, I had to start from scratch. And then I became the student of my students because I had to unknit my dance in order to, I'm sure I was a lousy teacher at the start, but I had this passion. Because if people ask me a question, I would say, oh my God, a question. What is, I don't understand the question. You know? So I had to start from scratch.
So it was a fight. It was a fight and you fought
exactly.
It
and
was
I
a fight.
thought by being in a school of dance and talking about my ideas about what I mean by my culture in the Western world as an Arabo-Berber person living in the West, what can I bring?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
And you proved it.
And that's how it opened the doors of the theaters.
Yeah, absolutely. And you proved it and you made it. And, you know, Leila Haddad, all in her theatrical shows, in her dance, in her style, you'll always expect top of the notch, top of the top. And like I said, you proved that. You proved that. So more to come, more to come. We want to know more, Leila. We want to know more. Um, and I guess out of curiosity, from Tunisia, was it London or Paris? From Tunisia. From Tunisia. Did
London.
you so you lived in London or you were a student in London?
Yeah, I was student in London, and that's how I got to know. I mean, I opened myself to the world
Yeah,
because I was, the little
yeah,
Tunisian, the couscous and
yeah.
the
So yeah,
salam alaikum. I
yeah,
didn't know anything, I mean, I spoke perfectly French, blah blah blah,
yeah,
etc. Because I was in a French private school while in Tunisia,
yeah,
but I didn't know anything about the real life.
yeah,
I was protected,
uh,
so and that's how I discovered the theater. That's how
yeah,
I discovered the arts of,
yeah,
and this doesn't mean I was reading. I loved poetry. I
yeah.
was crazy about Paul Éluard, René Char. I mean, name them. I loved that.
Wow.
This I knew, but I didn't know anything about like political theater. And
Yeah,
then thanks to my encounters with those people in London,
yeah,
forget London is, I mean, you have so many ideas, so
yeah,
many scenes,
yeah.
um, not the mainstream. You have a lot of things,
Loads of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
alternative music, alternative theater. So I
yeah,
didn't know anything about alternative theater.
yeah,
And then I put my 2 feet in it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that was my luck. I was
yeah,
really lucky. So
yeah.
maybe it's karma, maybe it's chance. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So obviously, we the Arabs, the Amazigh, the North African, we grow up in a dancing culture, or the dance is part of our culture, and we grow up doing such a thing. But when it comes into professionalism, when it comes into being of creating names, we all had teachers and mentors. And who was your first teacher, Layla? Who are your
Okay.
teachers?
If I tell you, you're gonna laugh again. Don't worry.
I
It's okay.
will, good.
Okay. Because I was crazy about dance, on Wednesday afternoon and Saturday afternoon and Sunday, I could go to the cinema. And in Tunisia, I don't know how it was in Morocco, we
Yes.
had all the movies of musicals of Egypt,
Yeah, of
We
course.
lived
Yeah.
in Tunisia, but we were Egyptians,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we had the Indian movies, was
Yeah.
very popular, you
Yeah.
know. So I used to go and see all the movies with Naima Akef,
Oh, yeah.
Tahia Karioka,
Oh,
Samia Gamal,
yeah.
Nabawiya Mustafa, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. I
Yeah.
would go back home
Yeah.
and try to do what they did. I
Well,
would go back and back, see the same movie,
yeah.
maybe 10 times, because I wanted to record, oh, how she did her arms like that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I was everybody in front of my mirror.
Of course.
Dreams are allowed.
Of course.
Dreams are infinite, like the sea and the oceans.
And there's
So
no limits.
that's how I started in front of my mirror,
Wow.
imitating my aunts, my cousins, my neighbors, because as you said, we grew up in a dancing culture.
Of course.
A
Yeah.
dancing culture. This
Yeah.
was, I mean, الخبز والملح, as we
Well,
say, I mean, bread and salt.
oh,
This is
yeah.
our everyday life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cry after 5 minutes, yalla, let's dance. Whatever drama starts, there is always a moment where somebody, yalla, yalla, yeah, that's it. You have cried enough, my son
Okay.
didn't do that, my sister,
Yeah.
whatever,
Uh,
and hopla.
and-
And there was always in my family, in my friends, I mean,
yeah.
friends of my mother, everybody knew how to play darbuka. I mean, not like
Yeah.
professional, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
immediately everybody gets up.
Yes. Open dance. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, all generations, don't
Yeah.
forget that. We were
Yeah.
not separated like here, like
Yeah.
each generation in a box.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
grandmother and until my nephews and nieces were 1 year
All
old,
together.
all together. You can
Yeah.
imagine it was worse than a market
Yeah.
place. So that's how I grew up, in the middle of singing, drama, always
Yeah.
drama, you know, I'm going to kill myself, dramatic, blah, 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 and dancing and singing. My grandmother didn't go to school, but all the poetry she knew in her head, I
Of course.
wish I had her memory,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, when I go back to Tunisia and I say to my grandmother, I didn't tell her I'm going to dance on stage, too
No.
complicated for her. I didn't, she would not even understand.
Yeah.
So I told her, I'm going to teach dance. And my grandmother looked at me, I never forget. She said, teach dance to whom? Everybody knows how to dance. I mean, like, and then she said, but how can you teach? So I tried to explain, you know, an example, Monday at 12. She said, and if at 12 o'clock you don't feel like dancing, what do you do? So it was something like not understandable, you know,
No. You're
from my,
true.
I mean, my grandparents. I mean, my mother understood, but my grandparents, and I have something also,
Yeah.
a secret to tell you.
Go on.
Before we went online,
Yes.
I arranged myself. I said, well, I have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be nice, everything, vanilla. And then I put perfume. And then I
Yeah.
remembered the one time I was very, don't laugh at me, watch out. Don't mock me. Yeah, my grandmother, my mother wanted to take pictures of us, you know, in family. My grandmother
Yeah.
said, Lala, stand, stand. I mean, wait, let me put some perfume, you know, for picture. So I found myself ridiculous in my bathroom because of you. Some perfume, you know, I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's nice. I smell good. So now I can start, I mean, the meeting on Zoom. Yeah.
Guys, please can you comment? Can you smell Layla's perfume? Please put your comments and how lovely and wonderful and very nice and obviously Parisian, very hot scents coming through your
Oh
Zoom.
my God.
Please do share your comments. And also, in the meantime, before we carry on, could you kindly share or host a watch party, so which means you can invite other people to watch this live. Layla has a lot to share. Layla has a wealth of knowledge. Layla has a wealth of experience. I'm eager to show her to you guys, and obviously can't do it without you. You helping us doing it. So I'm gonna carry on. Please comment on Layla's perfume. Please comment on Layla's perfume. I'll be watching to see
And
the
then
comments.
why did I start studying about dance?
Yes.
First of all, in France,
Yeah.
the common word was danse du ventre,
Right.
which is belly dance. To
Yeah.
such an extent, and this is true, maybe you don't know about that because you don't live in France.
No.
In the parliament, you know,
Yeah.
political people, when, you know, sometimes they fight, you know, everybody is screaming at the same time, and, you know, they don't agree on a law or something. There is always someone gets up and say, oh la la, stop. We are not here doing belly dance.
Yeah.
Even in the political movement
Political.
parties, when everything is, you know, upside down and
Yeah.
not nice. So
Yeah.
even it is a political statement.
Yeah.
We are not
Yeah.
here to belly dance. Can you
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
to which extent we
Yeah.
are denying our culture?
Yeah.
This is, and then I was really shocked because,
Ah.
you know, we don't
Yeah.
dance with a nose, we don't dance
No.
with the ear.
No.
So I love the belly. The
Of
belly
course.
is the first house of humanity.
Yeah. Of course.
So we must respect the belly because all humanity
Yeah.
started living for 9 months in a belly, in
Yeah.
a woman belly.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
So it is very important.
Yeah.
I call it the sun, or I call it the place of telecommunication, you know. You know, like the
Yeah.
letters, the post office, it's the post office, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
where from it. But why do we call it belly
Yeah.
dance? I don't
Yeah.
see the point. But of course, so because of all the questions people were asking me,
Yeah.
I decided to do like in the West, people like things to be done. I said I
Yeah.
have to study in order to be ready to answer to be ready to explain who am I, who am I not as Leila Haddad, but who am I, what is my identity as an Arabo-Berber, so proud of my culture. So I had to do something about that.
Yeah.
So I went, first time I was invited in the States. When I started, people heard of me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I go there to teach.
Yes.
So I am supposed to be a little bit knowledgeable. But first question, Leila, don't understand nothing, my God. So a girl comes and she says, can you please explain to us what is the bee dance? Bee, you know, bzz, bee dance. Oh my God. Me, I don't like to lie because I am knowledgeable to a certain extent, but there are many things I still don't know. Many, you know.
Yeah.
You know, culture is also an ocean. The more you swim, and the more you realize you don't know nothing. Anyway, so I told her honestly, I said, I have never heard in North Africa a dance called the bee dance. But I was vexed, you know. So I go back to Paris, I go to the bookstores, the library, and look, and I find some books written by Flaubert. Flaubert is a French writer who traveled extensively to the Orient and especially to Egypt.
Right.
And he mentions the bee dance. So what is the bee dance? Imagine yourself in a whore house.
Yeah.
That's where the travelers, you know, Westerners used to go. Why not? Among other, I don't care. I mean, it's... And then the girls, to get more money, because they were, the men were so stupid anyway, so they wanted the girls to dance and get rid of their clothes, you know.
Of course.
So while dancing, they were doing, and then I have an explanation. This is my explanation. They were doing bzz, bzz.
Okay.
So they named it a bee dance. So it means taking off the clothes. Now, why bee and bzz, bzz? This is my explanation. Huh? Bazoola. I mean, how do you say in English? Teeth?
Breast.
Bon, pardon. Breast. So in Arabic, bazoola. So maybe the girls while dancing was doing like maybe bazoola. So because they don't speak Arabic, they quote only the beginning. Baz. And then can you imagine the distortion of history?
Of course.
Like I didn't know. And the girl, poor girl, it's not her fault.
It's what she's read,
She read the bee dance, and being from North Africa, she said, the best person who can explain to me and show me the bee dance probably is her. So we have to do, you know, like tavola rasa, you know, from empty table, you have to build everything again by studying, searching, meeting, lecturing, making mistakes, I made many mistakes, making statements, and then saying, I made a mistake, sorry. Because when you are in the field of research, you know, sometimes one idea erases the other one because you have another proof. So when people ask me something, I say, up to now, that's what I think, but it's not definite. See, you have to be careful and intellectually honest about what you know and what you don't know.
When you're not sure about. That's absolutely, that's a fair common point. So Leila, how did your family react to you being a dancer? How did your family, I mean, you mentioned your dad was praying and you were dancing on the other room.
Okay. I have a family who are like my mother, lawyer. I mean, it's a family who have studied.
Yeah.
So when I was studying and doing political theater and dancing at the same time, they were pleased because it was a hobby.
Okay.
You know, it was like, oh, she's cute, you know, she's studying, but, you know, she's doing theater. It was like, you know, hobby. I mean, some people play tennis or play football, I don't know what. So it was really like, wow, nice, but she's a student, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, you know, she's young. After
Yeah.
she gonna grown up, anyway. But when I told them, okay, now I have gone, I want to quit my studies. I quit after a certain level, but
Yeah.
after a while, I didn't want to continue. I knew
Yeah.
what I wanted to do. So I told them, and they got scared. And I will explain why I understood.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are Arabo-Berber, you and I, and we
Yes.
know the situation.
Yeah.
At that time, in Tunisia, maybe Morocco, I don't know. Let's say Tunisia. You had only two possibilities if you want to dance.
Yeah.
Sharky. Restaurants, cabaret,
Yeah.
or haflas,
True.
where you put money
Money
and
in the breast. Yeah.
وكل حاجة.
In the biz.
Exactly, business. So, I mean, of course, my parents didn't, I mean, they
Yeah.
were like horrified that
Yeah.
the daughter went to study, blah, 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 and
Yeah.
everybody's in different fields, you know, doctors, lawyers,
Yeah.
and she's going to be like Ra'asa Sharia. I mean, but they didn't understand my idea of like putting this in the theater. It's not because I was part of his family that I wanted that, but it was my path. I wanted to
Yeah.
do theater, that's it.
Right.
Either sing, dance, jump, whatever.
Yeah.
But because I was the only one, there was nobody, they could not
Yeah.
understand my point. They
Yeah.
were like horrified, you
Yeah.
know, like, but how can you live? How are you going to eat? I mean, is it going to be enough for you to be self-sufficient, living in the West, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, I didn't understand. I just said, okay, bye. I closed all the doors and then I did my things.
Yeah.
And then, because my parents used to travel a lot, so one time they were in Paris and I was performing in a Théâtre du Rond-Point des Champs-Élysées,
Wow.
very famous theater in Paris.
Yeah.
So my uncle is a lawyer. They were here for lawyer things. I don't know what. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I called my mother. I told her, you know, I'm performing in a week time. Shall I get you tickets? She said, a little bit snobbish, said, no, we will be busy that evening. We won't be able to come. I said, okay, bye. Anyway, bye-bye. Anyway, I didn't want to discuss. You know, I was very abrupt at that time. You know, like, you don't agree?
That's it.
Say the word F word.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't say that to my mother.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh my God. Anyway, but 2 days before, my uncle, my brother's mother, who is also a lawyer, called and they told me, you know, can we come and you can get the tickets? I said, okay.
Yeah.
So it was their first time to come and see me. And they were happy. You know, my uncle, as a lawyer, came and said, I knew my niece was exceptional, blah, blah, blah. Great dancer. You know, the violins, they didn't know nothing. And my mother was like that. And then one friend of mine was happy to see my mother, and she said in French to her, because my mother speaks perfectly French, Italian, Arabic, not English.
Yeah.
She said, are you happy? She said, but she could have done something else because she did some studies.
Oh,
And I said,
God.
okay.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Oh, God. Mothers. Shut up.
yeah, exactly. And then I suppose, you know, it's a kind of, maybe I analyze bad, but, you know, she was excellent in harpsichord,
Yeah.
you know, and in painting, she was writing poetry. She was a lawyer. So maybe inside, unconsciously, she was not that happy about that. I don't know. I'm not a psychoanalyst. But of course, it was difficult for men and women a certain level to see themselves as, you know, musicians or singers.
Yeah,
We know how it works in
of
North
course,
Africa,
of
and
course,
at that time, you know,
of
it's very
course.
new. If somebody from a certain family wants to be a singer, a man, it is a
Yeah,
catastrophe.
yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
it's not a work.
Yeah. Well, we do have in Morocco, we do have a saying, "Oh, poor man, he's only a drummer."
Yeah,
Oh, poor guy, he's only a musician. Do you know why? Because they're very low paid as well. You know, they're not very
yeah,
highly respected and they're very low paid. That's why
exactly.
people don't get that, you know. But no, amazing, amazing,
And
brilliant.
I must add something. I
Yeah, of
know
course.
people in Paris,
Yes. Yeah,
French people, okay,
yeah,
with parents, knowledgeable parents,
yeah,
okay. And then when the daughter said, I want to be a classical ballet dancer, it was also a catastrophe.
no, no, yeah,
It's not long ago
yeah,
that the so-called artistic professions
yeah.
are in some ways, I don't like the word respected because I don't want to be a bourgeoise. I mean,
Mm,
accepted, you
yeah,
know. It's
yeah,
because now people see like big names making a lot of money.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
being an artist, I mean, no, I don't, being a musician, a singer, it's
yeah.
like,
Dance.
that's all you do. What else do
Yeah,
you do? I mean, like,
yeah.
is there not, what is your profession? Okay, I understand you sing, but what else do you
What?
do? You know, even in
Yes.
France,
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah.
have French students, they tell me, oh, dance nine, and yeah, apart from that, what do you do?
What do you do? Yeah,
I,
advance. But what else do
and
you
I
do?
know I play the stupid. I said, but I dance. Yeah. And we know.
You
But
know, what else?
apart from that, what is your profession? You dance. You're a dancer. Oh my God,
Oh.
it must be so funny all the time. Yeah. No work, just dance, jumping.
Yeah,
So people have no idea, you know.
yeah,
And why not?
yeah,
It's okay. We have to
yeah.
educate.
Absolutely.
We have to educate
Absolutely.
the people.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to have to take you slightly in the politics side now. So are you ready
Yes,
for me? Right. Okay.
right on.
Edward Said. Edward Said and his Orientalism portrayed a patronizing Western attitude towards Middle Eastern, okay, and Asia and North Africa society. Even the word belly dance is not the right expression for the dance of the Orient. So we have, what have you done to change that? Which I know you mentioned what you mentioned earlier on and about the story behind the word belly dance and buzz and all that. I have seen you in one of your interviews pulling one of the journalists, maybe, or somebody asked you about the word belly dance, and you went berserk. And I'd like you to share that with us because, I mean, basically, our viewers are purely belly dancers and, you know, the Oriental dancers, I should say, or folkloric dancers or Arabian dancers, but they need to understand that. So, my question to you, what have you done to change that, Leila, to change that word of belly dance, which I know you have done a lot. So,
Yeah. You know, again, unfortunately, for me, it's a lack of, first of all, it is a lack of knowledge, lack of culture,
yeah,
and a lack of respect out of my culture. I explain why.
yeah,
You know, there is a dance in South India,
yeah.
which is called Bharatanatyam. It's a complicated word, but
Okay,
everybody in the
yeah,
world learn that word and say, I am studying Bharatanatyam.
okay,
So why? Or I'm studying Odyssey, I'm studying Kathak.
yeah,
Why? They don't say, I'm studying Raqs Sharki. Even
yeah,
if it is Arabic and maybe it can make their tongue dirty. If they
mm,
don't want to use the Arabic term like they are using the Hindi term for
yeah,
Bharatanatyam, it's a long word.
yeah.
Raksarki is even
Shorter
shorter,
and
so
easier.
they can learn.
Yeah,
You know, I have studied Voltaire, I have studied Montesquieu, I have
yeah,
studied a lot of literature, English, Italian, French, German. They can study us now. It's time.
Yeah.
Colonization is finished and post-colonization is finished.
Yeah.
So let's stop. So if they don't want to say the word in Arabic, they have to translate it from what it is, dance of the Orient or Oriental dance. Now somebody would say, yeah, but Orient, which Orient? I must study. Study which Orient? Oriental dance, or I'm studying, let's say with an English or French accent, j'étudie le Raqs el Sharqi, like we say, j'étudie le Bharatanatyam, and that's it. So, look, your name is Nawara. If you walk in the street and I call you, Catherine, Nicole, it's not your name. It's not that you don't like it.
No, but
it's not your name. So why in the world do they want to change the word Raqs el Sharqi? This does not belong to the West. Ooh, girl, it belongs to the East up to now. You can have it yours. I mean, I'm happy to share, but it belongs to a culture. At least respect it. Okay? Now, to the word belly, I explained to you why I don't like also belly dance. If you take the Bible, the New Testament, in the British language before, in the 18th century, the word belly was a vulgar word. If they want to use, they want to talk about the belly, they will talk about the stomach. So if they respect my culture, call it stomach dance. But because it used to be a dirty word to say belly.
I like it. I love that.
I mean,
guys, stomach dance from tomorrow.
And then where did these travelers went? When they went, you know, when Bonaparte was not still Napoleon, and when they did the campaign of Egypt and they started sending the knowledgeable people, mathematics, spies, military people, writers, painters, name them, they went to the Orient. They discovered the dances where? In the streets. And they went berserk. I mean, like, imagine, okay, put yourself in the 18th century where the society is so Puritan, so Puritan that what I say is true. Just showing the feet, bare feet, was regarded as something highly sexual. Okay, so can you imagine those poor men alone, military people with peanuts in the head? Sorry, I don't say that. Anyway, and peanuts everywhere. So where do they go? Stop.
Welcome to Leila's world. Just in case anybody...
Where did they go? They go to brothels. Why not? I understand. I don't care. They go to whorehouses. Of course, they have a distorted image of a dance. Okay? Like if a tourist come to Paris, you know, we have Pigalle, you know, it's a place where you have sex shops and striptease and
of course,
okay. But no one would say this is the French culture. They know this is Pigalle, and next to it you have the opera house. So they mixed everything up in their little head with being so Puritans to see the uncovered belly. Oh my God, you don't show the feet, you show the belly. It was a scandal for them. And you know, a scandal attracts people.
Of course.
So they didn't know how to name it. So they started naming it Danse du ventre or belly dance. But now, Habibi, we are not in the 18th century.
No.
And there is something I have to point out. Very important. At that time, which is terrible. I'm sure you know, or if you don't know, welcome in the club.
Yeah.
In the 19th century,
Yeah.
they brought in Europe the nice savages, and they organized World Fair exhibitions
Yeah.
to show the cannibalists, you know, and
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
you know, half
Yeah.
naked people. And, you know, millions of people would go there. They would
So
put
actually,
human beings in zoos, in the zoo,
yeah. 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 Of
black,
course.
Kabylian, do we say
All sorts.
Kabylian or Kabyl? How do you say
Kabyle.
Kabyl?
Kabyle. Yeah.
North African, all their colonies,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
show to the nice white
Yeah.
person the difference between
Yeah.
the well-educated
Just
westernized and then the savages. I
something.
mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are
It's
5
sad.
years old, you are 10
Yeah.
years old, you see that, you see the
Yeah.
monkeys, you see the animals, you see the people half naked and with no shoes. Oh la la, no shoes.
Mm,
And this
yeah.
was incredibly exotic for them. And
Yes.
then that's how the prejudice starts,
Thoughts.
you
Yeah.
know, racism, prejudice. And so now that's it. It's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we are
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
2020. We have had the pandemic. Everybody has had it.
The-
Everybody. You know, the
True.
West, the East, we are
All
equal.
the same.
We are equal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Absolutely.
has to stop. There is a moment where it has to stop. That's why I don't put myself in the what's going around me, like, you know, what they call the belly dance scene, the blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I maybe I think I don't have my place there, and because my
Yeah.
aim is to put this dance only in theaters, this is my way. I
Yes.
don't. I am not. Look, I'm not Khomeini. Okay, I don't
No.
care. Me,
No.
when I go to the beach, I go naked, so I'm
Yeah.
happy with my body. If you see me, I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not about that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
want you, when I dance, I don't want you to
Yeah.
see if my legs are thin or small, if my boobs are tight or
Yeah.
big. I want you to appreciate what I have to give you, which is my emotion.
Yeah.
I don't
Absolutely.
even want you to see my technique. You
Yeah.
know,
Absolutely.
dance is charisma,
Yeah.
dance is feeling, dance is emotion, dance is sharing.
Yeah.
If I share first level,
Yeah.
burabara, I do the shampoo dance
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
massage dance. Okay, after 5 minutes, that's it. I am
Yeah.
dancing 1 hour and a half. I have to feed you. One
Yeah.
hour and a half, I have to feed you.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, that's it.
Of course. Oh, what a great intake. Thank you, Leila. What a great intake. Right. Okay. We're going to carry on. Leila, you are a dancer, an actress, performer, stage choreographer. How do you liaise with all these?
I see it like one. Okay.
Okay.
Lucky enough, I think I am an acceptable teacher, and because I teach with passion. So there are, you know, we don't have like, you know, layers. I don't know.
Yeah.
You cannot compare. I don't know because I have not studied with others.
Yeah.
So I do it with passion, I like to give everything. So I
Yeah.
think I am a good teacher.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be a little bit knowledgeable. So I
Yeah.
write. I'm a writer. I write.
Yeah.
So I write poetry and I write stories. And
Wonderful.
out of those stories, I want to make performances. As
Yeah.
we say, une pièce chorégraphique. In English, we would say a choreographical piece.
Yeah.
1 hour and a half. This is the minimum. You see how much I talk, so I have to
Yeah.
dance as much as that, you know. Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's just
Nothing.
like you have eaten
Warm up.
olives, 2 olives. Yalla, that's it. You know,
Warm
I
up.
need the koski, the tagine, the everything. So I have to express what I have to say on stage. And for
Yeah.
me, this has replaced the temples. So for
Right.
me, the temple is the stage.
Right.
People buy a ticket, they sit, they watch. And then
Yeah.
they can criticize, which is fair, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. So I have things to say, I have things to share, I have political ideas, I
Yeah.
am an activist, and sometimes I use the stage to make statements.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes it can be poetic, sometimes the life, telling the life of someone I love, like I did a piece of choreography, 1 hour, 45 minutes with my
Yeah.
dance company. It's called Zikrayat.
Yeah.
It's a homage to Kulthum.
Yeah.
And I took this piece of written by Ahmed Rami, who was in love with her.
Yeah.
We all know the story, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I made a tribute to Kulthum. So the
Yeah.
whole story is about Kulthum, blah, 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 etc., etc. So I made a setting, a story. So 1 hour, 45 minutes with 9 dancers, because I
Right.
have a dance company. So I am a soloist. So according to what I write, sometimes I need 3 characters, 10, 6, 7, depending
Depends.
of what I write.
Of course. Yeah.
So because I like to write, because I love the theater, and I don't like so much the show off. Anyway, in France, it won't work if you want to invite critic of dance. Not critic of dance who said, oh, she had a pink costume, very, very nice, and made by such and such woman or man. You know, I want people to write about the dramaturgy, the
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Proper critics. Yeah.
We still don't have dance
Yeah.
critics in our field. Can you
No.
imagine?
True. Yes. True.
Because why? Because we are still baby dancers. Look,
Yeah.
the ballet, okay,
Yeah.
the Western classical ballet
Yeah.
has more than 400 years of existence in conservatories, in schools. We
Yeah.
are babies. When did we start? 20, 30, 45 years ago. It's nothing
Yeah.
in the scale of history.
Of course.
Contemporary dance has more than 100 years, more than 100 years old. So we are
Yeah.
still babies,
Yeah. Of
you
course.
know. Let's take it easy.
Yeah.
Let's go slowly but beautifully, because the future of a dance, for me, I see it in theaters.
Yeah.
I don't want to destroy the rest. I'm happy. I am the first one to go to cabaret
Yeah.
and clap and zagrit
And
and everything.
clap. Yeah.
Why
Absolutely.
not? It's beautiful. I love everything.
Yeah.
You have to do على قد قلبك. How do you say?
Yeah.
According to what you want, according to who you are, according to what you know.
Yeah. Of course.
You know,
Of
sometimes I
course.
want to slap myself and say, why did I choose such a complicated path? I
Yeah.
could have done, Ya Habibi, yalla, yalla, do 2, 3, go to a birthday party, do a whatever party, and mama, every night, come back home and sleep. I suffer
Yeah.
1 year, 2 years to prepare, to
Yeah.
work on a piece of choreography
That's a piece.
of
Yeah.
1 hour, of course, 1 hour and
Yeah.
a half, huh?
Yeah. Of
So,
course.
you know, measure setting, work with a light designer. I don't do that.
No.
I have a stage manager. I work with people who do the. It's a lot of work. And sometimes I say, why do I do that? I could have made things simpler. But this is
Yeah.
how I am.
Yeah. 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 Which is going to bring me to ask you a question. But before I ask a question, I just need to let the viewers know. One of the best of Leila's production, of theatrical production, is a theatrical piece called The Belly of the Mountain. Say it loud, I am black and I am proud. Now, with what's going around these days, what we hear these days, I would like, or I would have liked to bring this issue in light in conversation with the wonderful Leila. And before we go ahead, we are all equal, regardless who we are. And I think it's a shame 2020 we still talk about stuff like that. Very, very shame, and especially in the dance world. So I would like Leila, if that's okay with Leila, to talk to us about the belly of the mountain. And I love that say what you've got, say it loud. I am black and I am proud.
Okay. So when I was doing my studies, of course, with what I told you, fighting for liberation of Nelson Mandela, who is my hero. He's my absolute hero, okay?
Yeah.
And fighting against apartheid, you know, the scélérat laws, you know.
Yeah.
So, of course, even in my studies, when I was writing my thesis, I changed the subject. And I wrote my thesis about the fight for the African Americans of for their civil rights, with Malcolm X first, Dr. Martin Luther King, the story of Rosa Parks, the Black Panthers, denouncing the Ku Klux Klan and the horrific, terrible things they did against the African American people, etc. etc. And why Malcolm X? At that time, now I start to understand Dr. Martin Luther King better. But at that time, I was like, no possible. I mean, like, you hit me on the cheek and I give you the other cheek. I mean, no way. And Dr. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. Malcolm X said, by any means necessary. It means if doing it in a nice way you don't understand, we are going to do the same way as you. You know, we are going to fight back and not accept that you are killing us like animals. You know, the Constitution gives them the right in America to have weapons. So it was the moment when the Black Panthers started having weapons. But the first aim of the Black Panthers was not to fight against white or whatever. They started understand. They took money to educate the people, to open canteens where people, hungry children, going to school with no food, they would feed the people. They would open dispensary for African American people, bring free doctors. I mean, they did a tremendous work. So I did my thesis on that period. So I don't know why, in 2012, or I started writing about that, and I said, I must do something about that. It took me nearly 3 years to give birth, with a lot of pain, to that, what I call the belly of a mountain, Dance with the Dreamers. I'm going to tell you why I chose this title.
Please.
You go to the pharaonic times. In the belly of the mountain stands the truth. So it is a metaphor, the belly of a mountain. Of course, it has nothing to do with belly dance.
With the belly, with biz,
So in the belly of a mountain, if you read any pharaonic text, they talk a lot about the belly of a mountain where stands the truth. T-R-U-T-H. And then I stole the sentence of Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, walk with the dreamers, when they did the walk of Selma, where so many people were killed. When they did the walk to Washington, D.C., when he said, I have a dream. So I wrote it, instead of saying walk with the dreamers, because I'm a dancer, I put dance with the dreamers. And say it loud, I'm Black, I'm proud. That's what James Brown said. You know, it was in the 60s, because all the so-called entertainers, singers, musicians were involved in the movement for the civil rights. Don't forget, it was, so many were killed, so many were murdered. So for me, it was like my duty to write and make a performance about it. So why it took me so long to prepare it? Because for me, it was a big responsibility.
Of course.
I didn't want it to be like, the crying. I want it
No.
to be right. And it's
Yeah.
very difficult to
Yeah.
not to make it too
Yes.
crying,
Yeah.
and just to have the right tone, choose the right musics, the
Yeah.
right lyrics, the right everything. So it
Yeah.
was, and I did that between happiness, excitement and pain.
Yeah.
And I did it. So it was for seven interpreters, because we do mime, we dance, and there is videos of terrible videos, because I said to myself, either I show everything or I shut my mouth.
Show nothing. Yeah.
So there are footages I found. It took me a long time also to do all the research,
Of course.
footage, etc. I found footage of like 1921 with a Tulsa killing, of black people, of the Ku Klux Klan,
Yeah.
the people, the lynched people, and I show that. Anyway, this performance, it's written, how do you say in France? It's like attention aux enfants. Like, you are not allowed to come with your children, but
no, it's with your age restrictions. Basically, you've got an
exactly
age restriction on it.
Already in television they watch everything, and this is history. It's not a movie, a scary movie. Unfortunately, this is the truth.
Yeah.
So I showed everything. I used the strange fruit of Billie Holiday, the fruit being the lynched men, women, kids. And I showed the Ku Klux Klan in the park.
In the park.
The kids in the afternoon eating peanuts or whatever, and watching the lynching, because it was like, when you go with your kids to the park and make something funny, and it was an attraction for them. And this was not long ago, Habibti. Like 8 years ago, 70 years ago. It's yesterday afternoon in the scale of history. So I had to do my duty. So at the end of my premiere came this very elegant woman. She said, who is Malcolm the 10th? She didn't know Malcolm X. I wanted to commit suicide. So I tell her, I think he's the son of Malcolm the 9th. Like, the lack of education, because there are some little writings, because the songs, most of the songs are in English. And I took some pieces of Morocco, a Halil of Morocco. I took some things Arabic, but all the lyrics, I chose specific songs, because what also struck me, when you go to a discotheque, I love to dance, whatever dance. What you hear? There is a song denouncing, there is a group of reggae called Steel Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a song where they denounce the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
What do you see? You go in the discotheque, you say, the Ku Klux Klan. Like,
oh my God.
There is, so people dance to lyrics that you really want to commit suicide, or listen carefully to just denounce that. And people like, why? Do you want a beer? Yeah. So that's how also it started. And there is a song, it's called Ritual Genocide by Neville Brothers, where among other things he says, lynching my father, killing my mother, raping my sister. Again, this type of music song was a discotheque. And then lynching my father, raping my sister. Like,
oh God, no.
So I was petrified. So I decided to use those songs, with some things written about that on the screen.
Yeah, of course.
And explain And why did we say it loud, I'm black, I'm proud? Because in the 60s, Angela Davis, all the movement, I had to bring it to life. I didn't know that today will make me feel I was right to do it. I wanted it to be in the past. When I did that, it's just don't forget. But it was just to please people. Don't forget the history. Now don't ask me why, but since my childhood, even in Tunisia, I was aware of racism. I was aware. And I could not understand because I was not political at all. I didn't know anything. But I had my best friend. She was a black girl from Tunisia. And she was my best friend. I didn't understand why kids didn't want to play with her in the French school, you know. And of course, she was my best friend. And I was a fighter, you know, when I was a kid.
Of course,
Like a boy, you know, boom, 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 boom. Not now. No muck. I'm going to kill you. You will see. Huh? So since my childhood, I could not understand, I could not bear injustice, but without putting words, you know. Now I can put words, I can read books, I can study, I can talk with you, I can discuss, I can exchange. Didn't know. So this has always been, this has always been my fight. My meeting with those people. So nothing is by chance. It had to be that way.
Of course.
So I did it because it was, so I just read you just a sentence because
Please do.
What is the use of a song if it is disarmed? Okay? And beyond its aesthetic and visual power, what is the use of a dance if it doesn't advocate a better world?
Wow.
So that's why I'm not for Habibi. For me, as Leila. Don't follow my path. That's how I am.
Of course.
So it must have a meaning for me.
Absolutely.
Dancing is a message.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm dancing my destiny. I'm dancing who I am. You know,
of course.
So you like it, marhaba. You don't like it, too bad for you. I mean, you know, nobody, you cannot say of nobody that everybody agrees with them. I understand that people don't like my way or don't understand. I don't care. I don't care. I have to do what I have to do.
Absolutely.
And I do it the best I can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So to come to that, of course, Black Lives Matter.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Black Lives Matter, of course. And then, you know, I wrote something because this was, this is a text. We don't know the origin. We don't know who wrote it.
Okay.
But I love this text. And I don't want to distort it. I know it by heart, you know. Dear white brother, dear white sister. When you were born, you were pink. When you grew up, you were white beige. When you go to the sun, you go red. When you are cold, you are blue. When you are scared, you are green. When you are sick, you are yellow. When you die, you are gray. I was born black. If I grow up, I stay black. If I go to the sun, I am still black. If I'm cold, I am black. When I'm scared, I'm still black. When I'm sick, I'm still black. And when I die black. And you have the fucking nerves to call me colored? You see, because we say colored people. Which color? Anyway, we are not white, we are beige, because I see the white on my screen. And people are not, they are marron, how do you say, dark brown or light brown or whatever. This has to stop. We are in 2020. How can you see at broad lights, daytime, the murder of an unarmed Black African American man who is handcuffed in the back and 8 minutes 46 seconds.
Seconds, absolutely. Yeah.
And crying, Mama. I mean, I could not see. I mean, this is beyond beyond horrible. I didn't see the video. I just heard.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
not. It's not possible to watch.
Yeah.
And people filming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the cops around not doing anything.
Not think about it. Yeah.
To save this man.
Yeah.
And then they come with, he did this, he did that. Nothing excuses a murder, an assassination, an official assassination. And the people, they feel secure, the cops, when they do that, because nobody, they don't go to jail. They don't go to jail. So of course, I can kill. I have the costume, I don't know how you say, the uniform.
Yeah.
This has to stop. And I read that. It's not my sentence. I don't want to lie.
Yeah, no.
I read, silence is violence. You are either with the protesters or you are with the oppressors. There is no way, no other ways. Either you are demonstrating against this iniquity, this horror, and this has definitely to stop. Can you imagine a mother all the time scared about her son or daughter going out just to buy a candy? And how many died of that? Buying a candy, he had the hand in the pocket, he's 14 years old, he's afraid, boom, boom. And then why 8 bullets? 8.
Yeah.
Let's say you are scared. Why don't you shoot at the foot? Why do you shoot in the back? Because you are a coward, okay? And then you shoot 8 times. If it's not your wish to kill that person, and men and women. And since only February 2020, there have been many murders. This jogger, students, jogging 7 p.m. Oh, a black man running, of course, he must hide something. You cannot jog.
Yeah. And I'll have to again add into this, and I know you feel strongly about it, and we all do. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see us in 2020. We're still having to see stuff like that happening. And like you said, when you did the show, you thought that was a past. We're going to portray the past. But it's not a past. It's still a present. Still exists. The George Floyd case, it's one of the thousands that didn't show. Does that make sense? It's one that showed, but there's other thousands and thousands that have not been seen and talked about and showed. And that is sad. That is sad. Which is going to bring me to ask you, Leila, and this is your personal question to you. Have you ever felt rejected?
Okay. Of course, as an Arab living in the West, doing what I'm doing, I had some little story, but really, in order to respect what's happening now, which is much, much more dramatic, I would just not, I would even dare saying, because you see what I mean? The proportion, it is too much disproportionated. Do you say like that? The disproportion. Because of course I go on social media and I read always, my mother had nobody liked her because she has glasses, because she's short-sighted, and the stories are so stupid. I mean, just shut up, okay, and just fight for Black Lives Matter if you have the guts to do it. Otherwise, shut up, because this is what matters now. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and I have to say, it is Black Lives Matter. The movement is superb, and the movement, it's a cry, it's a scream for all of us to wake. But I think for us, is individual lives matter regardless of the color. Individual, we are who we are. We have to be accepted who we are, and individual lives matter. Well, that's something regardless color, age, race, sexual orientalism, anything. our lives matter. Our lives matter. So do you think, sorry, do you want to add something? Go on, Leila.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please, please do.
It was written by someone and it's not my words. I
Yeah.
don't want to distort what has been written.
No.
And this, I found it so important. First of all, what I wanted to add about racism, the problem, you have individual racism, but the problem that the racism is institutionalized.
Yeah.
You see, everything is done in this society for the white folks, for work, for finding a job, finding a flat, everything. So we have to change the institutions. It's not just make somebody shut up. You know, you have extreme right wing, which is so strong now. In America, you have alt-right. I mean, Hitler next to them is a little blah, blah, nothing.
Yeah.
You have a white supremacist. You have the extreme right wing. You have a Ku Klux Klan who is still so, he's really active.
Yeah.
You know, they accept all that. So we are dealing with a terrible strength, and the institutions encourage this type of thing. So there is a girl, I have to find you because there were some how shall I say, some people fighting about the All Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter. And the girl wrote, and I wrote it for you because it was so important. I tried to remember. She said, Black Lives Matters. We never said that all lives don't matter. But please help us, because Black lives are in danger.
Absolutely.
Okay, everybody's bringing White Lives Matter, Chilean, what, but now it is this problem. Why can't we be just with the Black people, the African Americans, but the killing are about them?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's about them. So for one time, I say to the people, shut up. You follow or go out of a boat. And you know, there is one thing that always remember. If they make some arrests, not because they saw the videos. They made those arrests because we saw the videos.
Yeah, of course.
What I mean? Imagine people without cameras before. They can do the killing easily. Who can complain? The cop would always say,
Well, that's what I said earlier on. There's lots of lives that went and we don't know about it. It's not been brought because there were no cameras.
You are
because there were no cameras and there were nothing, you know. So those people have lost lives just because, you know, and that is absolutely stupid. I mean, thank you for sharing this because it is very important, especially in this
for me
world.
it's extremely important.
It's for all of us, Leila. Leila is for all of us, and we're all Black Africans. We are all.
No, you are right. But because I live in France, I was insisting on that because as you have seen everywhere in the world, New Zealand, Australia, France, Italy, Germany, England, Great Britain, in so many countries, there were a lot of demonstrations, even in Iran, you know, in Black Africa, everywhere. Everybody feels we are on the same boat. Maybe the pandemic taught us something. We are in the same boat, Habibi. If it drones, we are all going to drone.
Of course, absolutely. It's going to bring me to ask about this race issue in the dance market or in the Dance of Orient market. Do you think that there is a race issue in the Dance of Orient market or the Oriental dance?
Really?
I mean, we've seen friends and colleagues, ladies Caribbean dancers, African dancers, and they've brought up issues recently on certain threads on social media, and it is heartbreaking. Not getting jobs, having jobs taken from them, not being taken into festivals, not being this. And I admire one of the ladies in America. She set up actually a page just for the sisters or the Black sisters that are actually doing, festivals and teaching. And it's amazing to see such things happening. But do you think that there is a race issue in this market doing this Oriental dance?
I think there is, like there have always been an issue
Yeah.
for Black dancers.
Okay.
Classical ballet, modern, contemporary, jazz, name it. So
Yeah.
why not Oriental? But what I find bizarre or
Yeah.
abject is that this dance, sorry to say that this way, has been borrowed
Yeah.
from the Middle East or Arabo-Berber world. So it's
Yeah.
not their dance. So at least they can keep the doors open, because if we keep the doors open and we understand that this dance is for sharing, no matter who you are, if you are English, French, Italian, Spanish, Bulgarian, name it, Australian.
Yeah.
So are you going to play on the melanin? Because people tend to forget.
Yeah.
There is a geneticist, okay, called Jacquard, a French geneticist. He died a few years ago.
Yeah. Jacquard. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said there are, and it is proven, there are
Hmm.
two races. You have human beings and the animals.
Yeah.
All the rest is a question of melanin. If you
Yeah.
have more melanin or less melanin. So we
Yeah.
are all human. But the problem for the African Americans or maybe other Black people in
Yeah.
other countries, which I don't know, because I'm more, how do you say, acquainted to America, because I travel a lot there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
France. But I hear that also in America.
Yeah.
And this also has to stop. This does belongs to everybody.
Of course.
Sorry. I mean, yeah, it belongs to everybody. We have
Yeah.
to stop, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's brilliant, and that's absolutely, this is my very first live discussion. I'm actually, because I know I'm actually talking about this issue because it is an issue on Oriental dance, and we have to talk about it openly and freely. And I didn't feel I had the right to talk about it for any better than yourself, Leila. I
We
think
are Africans.
we are Africans, regardless of how
Absolutely.
light regardless of how light our color is. We are Africans, and we are classed as
Absolutely.
Africans. Yes.
Absolutely.
And we are nomad, and we are Amazigh, and that's how we are. And I felt
Absolutely.
I strongly and openly can talk to you about it. Rejection in society, yes, as a dancer or non-dancer, it does exist. It took us ages to build up names. It took us ages to make names. It took us ages to prove ourselves and to show, yes, we dance and we don't harm. And obviously, with what you see our sisters and brothers what's happening to them in a different parts of the world, and raising all that concern and all that, you feel, and you want to just jump out and go and help and be there. So, no, thank you very much for opening your hearts. Thank you for sharing what you shared with me on this matter, because I really admire your open and honest views about it. Go on, Leila, you've got the
Yeah, no, because I was invited in some events.
Yeah.
I mean, what they call festivals in the States, especially in Washington, D.C. And this was organized by Black African sisters. And I was among them as a North African.
Yeah.
So I was the only light-colored, person, because they regarded me as an African, that I am,
Yeah.
Everywhere it's written. If I did like the
Yeah, we
thing
are.
with Kay Taylor, about the music,
Of
I
course.
wrote, my identity is Arabo-Berber. I'm a woman living in the West as an Arabo-Berber and an African, because Africa, North Africa is in Africa. And
Of course.
funny enough, in the old time, what is Tunisia now, what is the country Tunisia,
Yeah.
and the east of Algeria, one little piece of Algeria, because before it was one
Yeah.
country, there
Yeah,
was
of
no
course.
division.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
it was called Ifriqiya, which gave the name to the continent. So we
Absolutely.
are Africans,
Of course.
and
Absolutely.
under the Sahara,
Yeah.
they used to call it, but I say like thousands of years ago, not yesterday afternoon, of course. It
Yeah.
was called Ethiopia. And above, it was called Ifriqiya. So we are Ifriqiya,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
like it or not? When I say you
Yeah.
like, not for you, but I mean, that's it. So we have
Yeah.
to stand for that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I
So
couldn't
they invited me and they did a beautiful festival because they explained to me that, how do we say in English? They couldn't find their place. Do we say find a place, their
Yeah.
place?
Find that place. Yeah.
Yeah. In the gathering
Yeah.
of the Raksharki dancers. Although I must say, but there are some organizers, like, you know, Rakasa East and Rakasa West. The woman, she died 2 or 3 years ago. Her name is Shirley, and she always was totally open to whoever wanted to perform. And you see, so there are some people who are normal, not extraordinary. It is something normal.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are talented, I take you. That's it. I
Yeah.
don't care if you are your popo is pink or yellow. I don't care.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you for bringing that.
No, it's fine. And I do, like I said, I do feel we can talk about it live with everybody, with our viewers. Obviously, there's a various of different comments which we'll see to later on. But you know, it's lovely, and it's lovely to have you opening your heart about it. And I know how strong you feel. And obviously, for the stage performance or stage theatre show that you did as well, it really shows. How strong you are about this, and how we all are. Right. Now, I'm going to have to carry on, and I'm going to have to, because I think we've gone well over the time expected. So I'm going to have to be very briefly,
Go on.
very briefly, Leila. What do you think about fusion in the dance?
Okay. Already, Raksharki, I suppose, was a kind of fusion.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
The Nile, okay, is the longest, comment on dit fleuve? How do we say fleuve? Un fleuve?
River?
River, yeah.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
It goes from Egypt to where? To Uganda, Habibi.
Uganda. Yeah.
I went to Uganda. In certain places, the way we dance, it's exactly like Raksharki.
Yeah.
In Guinea, because I've been to many countries of West Africa, luckily. In Guinea, there is a dance for a goddess, Kakilembe Nimba. The way they dance, not the same costumes, of course. It's exactly like Raksharki.
Yeah.
So certain things are borrowed, because before the desert, the Sahara was not a real desert. You know, there is, geographically speaking, there is a desertification. Some island in 10, 20, 50 years will disappear from the planet. You know, we know that.
Absolutely, yeah.
The sea is extending, the desert is extending, blah, blah. So geography is changing. So there were exchanges between Northern Africa and Southern Africa, you know, because we're Africans. So if you see some moves, it reminds me of some moves of a Shihat. If you see some moves, it reminds me of some moves of a Bedouin, as you are knowledgeable about Moroccan, Tunisian, Algerian. So who took from who? I don't know.
You don't know.
But it's a kind of fusion. But what we say, this is Raksharki, I mean, from Arabo-Berber roots.
Yeah.
Now fusion, we have to evolve.
Yeah.
If it's good quality and it's made with a sense of aesthetic, blah 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 blah. Why not? Just recognize the roots. But anyway, fusion or no fusion, this dance, which comes from so far in the past, will kill us all and will still have a long way to go. This dance cannot disappear whatsoever. Now we have to be careful of something. I tell you, fusion. I have, it's not important the names because it's not that, it's what matters is what I'm going to say. I have some people that I know in America who are into ATS, fusion, etc. And they respect me, they like my work. And me, I saw them one time and they did a 15 minutes piece, was really very beautiful. So the girl, she came to me and she said, oh, please, can you come tomorrow? Because we have chosen a Tunisian piece to dance, you know, with the sagat and ding dang, ding dang. I said, okay. So I went. Of course, I told her after. I wanted to commit suicide and dance and die. This is Arabic way, you know, desperation, exaggeration. You know, poor girl, she didn't know. She had chosen a song which denounces rape of women in Zarzis, which is near Djerba in the south of Tunisia, by the French military. It is a historical fact, you know. So وبناويتها ناري على زرزيس وبناويتها, etc. And this is a very sad song denouncing rape. So I told her, my God, why did you choose that? Oh, somebody said it's a very nice song. I said, please, when you use Arabic or Berber, please ask someone to translate to you the words. Just don't take anything because the melody is nice. So fusion, why not? I mean, I'm not into fusion. This is not my cup of tea, but who cares? Okay. And but be careful if you use Arabic. And another one, she chose the Quran. Because there was the voices are always very beautiful. She did a takassim in a restaurant, half naked, doing the snake on the floor. I mean, like, be careful. Even me, let's say, I give you an example with myself. One time I'm walking in the streets of Khan and Khalil many years ago because there was still Mubarak. So I walk, I go to Fishawi, and I love Baladi music. So the accordion, I stop immediately. I said, I want this piece. I buy the CD. I go home because I had a flat there. Anyway, I go home, I listen. So the introduction was something to die for. You see yourself. And then the words were, the lyrics like, we like Mubarak. Mubarak is a good president. He is very good man. Egypt is a country for tourists. I mean, like, what? Of course, I never used this piece. But imagine, I don't understand anything in Arabic. And because there is this beautiful introduction of Baladi with accordion, and then the stupid words. So when you borrow, because it is a borrow, from a culture, just go to the, go get informed, have a right source. Do we say source in English?
The right source,
The right source, know to whom you should ask, study, because dancing, this beautiful aspect of a dance. I don't know how you say this beautiful dance. Either it is dances from Algeria, dances from Morocco,
Yes.
dances, because there's not only one, there are hundreds of dance of
Yeah.
Tunisia. Okay,
Yeah, of
go
course.
to the roots, study and travel.
And travel, that's
See,
it. I want to say
yeah,
travel, go. I mean, you mentioned Uganda. You know, I'd love to go to Uganda, mate. And we have got a belly dancer. We've got, sorry, actually, an Oriental dancer or a tribal dancer based in London who actually moved in Uganda. And sometimes she shows some of the videos. Leila, the moves are absolutely superb. And, you know, travel, people do travel to learn. That's me. That's my concept anyway. You can't
absolutely.
just be where you are or staying where you are and pretending to be, you know what I mean? And you know, travel to learn. And that's the main
This
thing.
culture is so old. Even us who have been living there, we were born there, we are still learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, Leila, very briefly, I have to carry
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
call someone out by name who inspired you and still inspires you. Give me names.
Oh, yeah, very easy. Okay. My muse, my absolute muse is Isadora Duncan. So
Wow,
I'm
okay.
going to disappoint the people who hear. Isadora Duncan, she pioneered modern dance. She was a revolutionary. She was a fighter. And I discovered, of course, she died in 1927, huh? So I never saw her. But I read everything possible about her. And what attracted me is charisma. Charisma, a dancer has it or doesn't have it. It's not
Yeah,
something
teacher.
to buy. It's not something you study, you know. Look,
Absolutely.
in the field of classical ballet,
Yes.
within 1 century,
Yeah.
five names, five names.
Yeah.
Nijinsky, Baryshnikov, Nureyev, Maya Plesiskaya, even
Yeah.
4 names. Okay, so I want to say one thing. Thank you, Nawara.
There's more
How
to come.
many? No, thank you for what I, because it's so
Oh,
important that I can express myself.
of course. Yeah.
Not everybody is a dancer. I'm going to explain to you what. I explain, look, how many people go to university and study literature? My accent is terrible. How do you say literature?
Literature. Yeah. Literature.
Literature.
Not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Millions, masses, yes?
Yeah. Of course.
Out of those people, how many become writers?
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's not because we have a great technicity, like something I will never know how to do. Put my foot on my nose, my arm on my popo, you know, do like distortion and do that and that. This is not going to make me a dancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dancer is a gift.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Some
Absolutely.
people have it, some people don't
We
have it.
don't have it.
You know, and the people who are hidden in their houses, maybe they are much better than dancers that me and all
Yeah.
the people that we
Outsiders.
see.
Yeah.
Because I put myself on stage. People can
Yeah.
see me and criticize me, positive, negative, I don't care. But how many hidden dancers are? My grandmother, maybe she knew 6 moves, maximum.
Yeah.
I mean, when she was dancing, you could cry, you know, just little the emotion, the says, how do you say in English?
Yeah.
Says, the feeling says,
The feeling. That's correct. Yeah.
feeling. So it's complicated, you know, being a
Yeah.
dancer. It's not
Yeah.
like being an artist.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can be a taxi driver and be an artist, because being an artist is a state of mind.
It's a creativity. Yeah.
It's a state of mind and creativity. You
Yeah.
can be a dancer like a businesswoman. For me, you are not an artist.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I completely
People can
agree.
say about you, oh, Nawara is an artist, but
Yeah.
it's difficult for yourself to say, you know, I'm an artist. Oh.
No. No. You know.
Anyway, you understand my point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, Leila. Leila, do you prefer Tunis or Paris?
Okay. to tell you the truth, I was born a gypsy. I swear, wallahi, وحياة أمي. Since, since I was little, because you see my hair, etc., they used to call me غجارة. غجار, you know, the gypsy.
غزرية.
غجرية ولا هذيك نيجريتا.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was darker and with my
With the
hair like that
curly.
everywhere. You know, this is a little bit tight, a little bit over. Normally it goes like that. So, you know, the Arabo-Berber world is in my heart. I'm deeply rooted in it. But a tree needs to expand and give fruit or flowers. So I know where I'm deeply rooted, but I swear, and it's not demagogic when I say that. I swear to God.
No.
I am happy everywhere. You know also why? Because I travel with my house. My house is me.
Yeah.
I travel with myself. So I go with myself. So wherever I am good because I'm with myself.
Brilliant.
So
Fantastic. That's the best way to put it. Right. Leila, as a North African dancer, do you believe in the evil eye?
Absolutely, Habibi. Come on. Like, it's a joke. Of course. First of all,
Leila, we the Africans, it's always got to be the evil eye and bad energy. Ooh, bad energy. Ooh, the evil eye. Ooh.
Of course, يا ساتر يا رب وش معقول ده. Of course. I mean, I was born with, I mean, that. I mean, like, this is my heritage. You know, like, you like it or not, you have to have it. Of course, you know, we can explain many ways because, you know, first of all, it is something which is very well spread all over the world. We have, I found, because I read sometimes many things about that many years ago, like in Sumerian, you say Sumerian, Babylonian, Assyrian texts, which date more than 5,000 years ago. It's written about that. The Buddhists, they believe in that. The shaman, they believe in that. The Asians, Chinese, name it, Indian people, Indian from India. So this, and then if you want to be a little bit scientific, I will say it with my words because I'm not a scientist. You know, we have magnetic fields, okay? We have like threads, okay? And if it doesn't mean evil eye because the person is not good. Remember, in North Africa, even a mother, she's afraid to give an evil eye to her own baby. So it's not that it is bad or good. The thing is that those magnetic fields, which are like little lights like that, they can hit anyone. So the importance of jewelry, stones, and like, you know, gold, silver, how do you call that?
Jewelry.
Metals. No,
metals. Yes.
Are very important. Remember, you know, we were long time ago, even my grand had a big medallion like this. Because here you have a chakra, very, we are very sensitive. So we used to wear something very big on our breast, Bazula. Bazula. I am crazy.
The dance of the, I love that. You know, I will always remember the expression. The dance of the right. Leila.
I believe.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so so there are many ways to protect ourselves, and I believe in that, and I protect myself.
Brilliant, fantastic.
Rituals, incense, blah blah blah. I can give a course about that. You know, if one day they put a statue of the goddess of superstition, they will put my face.
Right,
We are
Leila,
very superstitious. Yeah.
we're going to have to make a move because I think we're exceeding 2 hours and we're going to have to
Tell
let
me,
people have their
really,
tea. So, so very briefly,
Yeah.
who do you look up to as an actor or a director? Someone you look up to?
Spike Lee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Spike Lee.
Fantastic. Okay. What's your biggest achievement?
To have put the dance in the best theaters in the world.
Yeah.
To have been programmed, not to hire, to have been programmed and to have réussi, comment on dit j'ai réussi? I succeeded
Yeah.
at least in France,
Yeah.
that people call Rakshaki Oriental dance, Danse Orientale. And this I fight like a tiger, you can imagine, you know. So they have this, at least this term is more and more accepted in the French culture.
Fantastic. What is your perfect Sunday afternoon?
Dancing.
Dancing.
Because now I don't dance, because normally either I have a workshop or I rehearse, because I have a very good place to rehearse on Sundays. So for me, it's dance.
Brilliant. Okay. What is the last thing you do before you step out on stage? So if you were performing, the last thing you do. For me, I go to the loo.
Okay. Me, I'm so stage fright that I don't even remember what I do. I am the most stage fright person in the entire globe, in the universe. And I have always a little story because it's very nice. There was long time ago a very famous French actress, Sarah Bernard. You know, she was dramaturgy, you know. Anyway, and then she was in her late 80. She was 80 years old. Anyway, so they came and saw her and she was amazing, and all the journalists, and they were always in a nice way making fun of her because she was known for being terribly stage fright. Comes this young actress, and it's a true story, and say, oh my God, you are still stage fright? Because you know me, I'm acting, because it was about theater. I'm acting only since 3 years, and I'm not stage fright anymore. So Sarah Bernard told her, chérie, darling, don't worry, stage fright comes with talent.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Amazing. Amazing. Right. What advice can you give to the dancers?
Be truthful to your dance. Be yourself. Don't imitate no one, because we are all unique.
Absolutely.
So try to find your path.
Absolutely. And be who you are rather than.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Brilliant. What's your plans in future? Do you have any plans in future?
I mean, I'm on writing a piece for my dance company, and I'm working on a solo. But again, when I say solo, it's 1 hour. It's a whole performance, you know. So it's always a headache, because I am frightened like the first day. I say to myself, I know nothing. I better do shining shoes, or work in a bank, or wash my clothes, or whatever. I am terrible, and I don't know what strength keep me going. So I'm working on 2 projects.
Fantastic. We can't wait to see those projects, and we can't wait because we know they're going to be unique. They're going to be very well presented, very well given. I'd love to see you back in the UK sometimes, and this is a shout to the organisers in the UK. Please do get LEILA HADDAD. Nobody in the world up to nowadays can do Tunisian like LEILA HADDAD.
Thank you. I hope I come to the Funun as well.
Akid. And I remember when I went to the workshop with Retail a few years ago in Newcastle, and we were doing the Tunisian, and little me that thinks that can do Tunisian, I just couldn't do it in front of LEILA. So I got shouted at. But Just you don't do it right. Get back in line. Well, to me, in my little brain, I thought I was, but at that day, everything seemed to have went, and it's just like panic. The boss is here, I think, and it all went. But it's been an enormous pleasure having you on board. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for sparing your time. I know you're busy, and I know you do your writing, you do your preparation, your rehearsing, and everything. And to talk open and freely about political issues, about Black dancers issues, about the rejection, about the loss of identity, about in an open heart. It's amazing, and not every single artist wants to talk about it because it's very, how am I going to, very touchy sort of subject. But I admire I admire your open and honest and outspoken behavior and views. We love you for who you are. We love your crazy mood and your crazy views. And let's hope this pandemic is over so we can get together and you can work together.
I hope so. But I wanted just to add two things because what you said, maybe people are shy or whatever.
Yeah.
It's first of all, I'm sorry to say that. First of all, it's question of culture.
Of course.
It's a question of education.
Of course.
And where do you stand? There are many people, they don't even are aware that they have a voice and they can talk and disagree. And this is not innocent. No. Either you are political or you are not. No. And better put your ass into that now, because otherwise the dictators are going to decide for us if we are not careful. Trump and company. So it's a question of education and culture, and read books, exchange. No, I like blue, you like pink. Yalla, habibi, you can talk of other things.
Talk about colors later.
Me too, I like blue and green. I love that. And I talk about fashion. There is a time for fashion and stupid things. I mean, blah, blah things that I love too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And there is a time for something more consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for having me in your chat. Do you say chat?
Yes, in the chat.
In your platform, because it is for me an honor also to share with you my views. And you are a good interviewer.
Thank you so much.
You know what? You know how to bring out. I'm scared of you, ya habibi, Allah. أنا خايفة منك. والله أنا خايفة منك يا عم. يا ساتر. Yeah. I don't even remember what I said to you. I was.
You watch the video and you'll be thinking, oh God.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, thank you. Shout out names that actually inspired you and you learned from and you look up to. So come on, share with us some names. Please do share with us.
So my first name, as I said, is Isadora Duncan, who is my absolute muse. As a woman, as a pioneer, as a fighter, she was at that time, 19th century, end of 19th century, she was like against marriage. She was for freedom. She was for the vote of women. I mean, put yourself in that time where it was totally forbidden, you know?
Yeah.
So she was really a revolutionary. Yeah. And she had an amazing charisma, because that's what it is about. Dance is emotion and charisma.
Absolutely.
On top of that, I will mention some African American dancers and choreographers who have had an immense impact on me, on my life, on my dance, on my thoughts, on many things, many subjects around the dance, because their dance, they stood up for their ideas. And for me, this is amazing. They didn't go into the mainstream. They didn't want to please you or me. They had ideas, they exposed them, and you like it or not, too bad for you. So Pearl Primus, was always, she was born like in 1902, so it's a long time. Pearl Primus was from Trinidad, but lived all her life in America. And she dared dancing on the famous song, unfortunately famous song, sung by Billie Holiday, Strange Fruits, where the
Wow.
Ku Klux Klan used to, you know, lynch the people. And the strange fruit are the dead bodies. And I open a parenthesis because I think it might be interesting that the man who wrote the song was a professor in literature, English literature, and he was originally Jewish Russian, and he wrote this song. And Madame, I forgot her name. My God, the one who Billie Holiday sang it, and Pearl Primus danced it. And then Arthur Mitchell was the first premier danseur, or danseur étoile, as we say, first dancer in a dance company in New York City Ballet, the first African American to dance, to have such position in ballet. So it was very difficult in the 50s. I mean, the prejudice was enormous. So that's why I liked him. And he created the ballet dance of Harlem. Catherine Dunham, that I hope everybody knows.
Catherine Dunham,
also was a dancer, choreographer, anthropologist, same as Pearl Primus. Of course, she influenced me a lot by her research and her voice. And then Bill T. Jones, who he said of himself, I am black, I'm homosexual, I have AIDS, and I live with a Jewish man. So he had it all.
All controversials,
That people wouldn't like him, you know. Immense talent, and he danced strong things as well, strong subjects like AIDS, alienation, you know, discrimination. He danced about that. And what was it? Because he performed a lot of times in France. But what I liked about him, that sometimes in some pieces of choreographies, he had the guts to choose dancers who don't have this, what we call the perfect body aesthetic. You know, he took women and men, like we say, short, round, middle age, or high. But he didn't care. He was looking for quality and intensity. So this is also something very new. And we are not familiar with that, you know.
Of course.
People are supposed to have the same figures, the same
marketing,
same popo, everything. So that's why I mentioned those people who are so important. And the final and the best one is Alvin Ailey. Alvin Ailey, if I have to redo my life, I would dance for Alvin Ailey.
Wow.
Maybe in my next life we meet and I will dance for him. He wrote a piece of choreography, which is a solo for an exceptional dancer called Judith Jamison, called Cry. You see that, and then if people at the end ask you, and you, what do you do? Oh no, I sell vegetables. I will not dare saying I'm a dancer. See, I like to go for the stars. When I say stars, you know, like Oriental dance people, everybody is a star. No, I mean like the stars and the moon.
The real ones,
I mean, people who lift you up with
course.
emotion, ideas, love, compassion, and screaming, not accepting our reality. And then if I go further, of course, Louis Fuller was the one, you know, we talk about Isis Wings. He was the one to bring this technique with 35, 40 meters of material. She was amazing. Louis Fuller, Martha Graham, Ruth Saint Denis, and Marie Wigman, all this era, you know, the 20s, the 40s, or in between, before the First World War, or Second World War, when people, all the ideas was crazy, etc. And something I like to dance on No, let me finish with the people who inspired me.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry. Mwah. Of course, in the Arabo-Berber world, I would name absolutely Madame Tahia Carioca, who
wow,
she is herself art. She's
yeah,
herself
yeah,
dance.
yeah,
Herself, she's not Tahia, she is the dance. For me, of course.
absolutely.
After Naima Akef
Yeah,
and Samia Gamal, I chose the order because, for my reasons, you know.
yeah,
And then don't forget, they used to dance on poetry before.
of
You know,
course.
I mean, poets used to write songs for Madame Kulthum, for
Yes,
Set Kulthum,
yeah.
Set Kulthum.
Sit on control.
You know, Bayram Tunsi.
Yeah,
I talk about poets. You know,
yeah.
the one who wrote Zikrayet. I told you before. I forgot his name. It will come back. I have a hole in my head all of a sudden. Yeah. So so this was about art. And
Yeah,
then when you see like the best composer, you like it or not, of
yeah,
the 20th century, Mohammed Abdel Wahab. I mean,
yeah,
he composed so much. So his music was absolutely tremendous and very
yeah,
difficult to perform. I love Mohammed Abdel Wahab. Mohammed Sultan
yeah,
was a disciple of, and he wrote music for me. Lucky
yeah,
me. Abdel Mutallab, Mohammed Fawzi,
yeah,
Karim Mahmoud,
yeah,
Sabah Fakhri. I
yeah,
mean, those singers who had were deep, a
yeah, of
real
course.
voice, and with words which has meaning.
Yeah,
So, and then what I like about poetry, to dance on poetry, because also it has a revendication. I mean, you
yeah,
fight for something, like Nazim Hikmet,
yeah,
Turkish poet, who
yeah.
used to call poetry, which is a bloody art, not bloody in the sense of
Mm,
insult.
no, no, yeah,
You know, it's you give your blood. You know,
yeah, yeah,
who suffered of that, who migrated because he escaped from Turkey and lived in Moscow, died in Moscow, lived
yeah,
in different countries. Nazim Hikmet
yeah,
and Maya Angelou, who is an African American.
yeah,
I performed and I danced on one of her best poems called
yeah.
"Still I Rise,"
Right.
against prejudices.
Yeah, yeah, all sorts. Yeah,
Yeah. So this is my, people have to understand my character and what I put into the dance. So
absolutely.
I am not on the mainstream.
No.
Why not? People don't share my ideas. Why not? But I
Yeah,
stand for my ideas. You know.
yeah,
Don't forget that when I was doing the Zulu theater,
yes,
I was part of the ANC movement. ANC movement, for the people who don't know, is
yeah,
African National Congress, which
yeah,
was a political movement for the liberation of Mandela. So
yes,
since I was 17,
yeah,
I was
activist.
movement. So I
Yeah,
was, yeah,
yeah.
absolute. And
Well, that's amazing, and that's amazing to know and to share with us, Layla, because looking at what you've done and how you come across as Leila Haddad and knowing all these people that inspired you, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic because that shows that the richness of the work you give to us. Where is it coming from? And I like and admire the idea of you brought the Western inspirers as well as the Arab ones, which is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. No, thank you for sharing this.
something I have to add,
Yeah,
because you
please.
asked
Yeah,
me earlier about my achievements. One
yeah,
of my achievements, among except what I said, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, apart from what I said, I mean, do you know the Institute of the Arab World?
yeah.
I was the first dancer and choreographer performing Sharkey North African pieces, put together for a story. I was the
Yeah.
first one they invited. They even
Wow.
invited me to give a series of lectures
Yes.
which was incredible because it was the beginning of the 90s. And because don't forget, today everybody is doing Rakshaki all over the world. But even my friends who are, and you will understand because you are from Morocco,
of course,
all the Arabo-Berber intellectuals who knew my fight, you know, African ANC movement, African National Congress, Zulu theater, when they saw that I was going to dance Sharki, they all disappeared. They said, oh my God, she's crazy, because they did not respect that dance. I don't talk about the Westerners now.
No, of course.
Oriental people. So I had also to fight within my own family. When I say family, not mama, baba, whatever.
No.
You know,
within the Arabs, within
group
our community.
family, they could not understand. Because, you know, we are schizophrenic, you know, in the Arabo-Berber world. I explain. We adore dance. We are so happy and proud when our daughter say, she dances good, say, oh, mashallah, tbarkallah aliyah, شفت كيفاش تشطح زوينة زوينة زوينة. So when you are little, they all love you.
Love you.
As soon as you grow up, no, haram, uda. So it's complicated, you know.
Absolutely.
So if it was ballet, you know, ballet dance, you know, the Western classical, okay, she's doing ballet or jazz. Rakshaki, you cannot, I mean, you can imagine.
Of course.
Impact,
of course.
Negative impact it has also on in North Africa and the Middle East. You say Rakasa, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't say that here. Rakasa, Sharmuta. No, for the people. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, you are a dancer, it means,
you're
you know,
prostitute.
That's what they think. So you had to erase everything and start all over again. And now I'm so happy to have people coming from my culture who really stand and say, I'm going to dance that type of dance. I'm going to teach it. Because, you know, there was nothing, no schools, no class, nothing before. So we have come already a long way.
Such a long way,
I fought to impose that in the schools and the theaters. So this is my ultimate combat. Comment on dit un combat?
Fight.
My fight,
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Right. Well, before we go, you sat down there and you've shared a lot with us, and I admire you for everything you actually shared with us. But I'm loving that picture behind you. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Look. So this painter, let me see you.
Yes, please. Yes. Wow, it's beautiful, Leila. It's absolutely beautiful. Really. And you know what? You can read it from different angles, you know. You can read a lot from it, you know. But tell us about it.
Mustafa Wad was, because he went to the sky now, a very famous Senegalese painter.
Yes.
And he offered me this piece. So supposedly they are my musicians, and I am on the drum dancing.
Wow.
It's crazy. I don't know. Can you see that?
I can see. Hang on. I can see. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you're angling, no, you turn it. If you turn it sideways, if you turn it a little bit, that's it. That's it. I can see that. Wow. Amazing.
And I have to show you a second because you are going to love. I have very small tits, breast. Wait, you are gone. Where are you?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
I don't see you.
I can see you. I can see you. I don't know what you've done, but I can see you.
But how do I do to see you?
Leila, we can see you. Can you hear me?
So, do you see this one?
Oh, wow. Yes.
Okay. He imagined me with a big breast like that. This is me, apparently.
That is awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
Sorry, I said Mustafa Wad. It's Mustafa Wad.
Mustafa Wad.
Yeah, Wad. This is a Senegalese name. Mustafa Wad. Yeah, because there is another one job who made other paintings for me. Anyway, so you still see me now?
I can still see you. I don't know what's happening. I don't know whatever you pressed. but I can still see you perfectly. So no,
Okay, that's perfect. As long as you see me, it's
that's the
okay.
main thing. Yeah. Well, thank
I can imagine you. That's
God
it.
bless you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much indeed, Leila. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for this and thank you for sharing a lot with us. And I'm sure our viewers are going to love this, this depth conversation or interview or chitty chat about your heritage, your culture, your dance, your story, your life into the dance, basically. So no,
Yeah,
that's
because
absolutely,
we belong to a global village now,
of
thanks
course,
to the medias, the networks. We are in a global village. And don't forget, we come from Mother Africa,
of
which is
course,
the cradle of mankind. That's
of
why I
course.
always come back to Africa, because as
Mm.
you said
Yeah,
for previously this afternoon
yeah,
when we talked, you
yeah,
said we are Africans. Yeah, we are
absolutely.
Africans, and the humanity was born there.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's why we come
Absolutely.
back to our roots, and we can
Absolutely.
never left it anyway.
No, of course, it's in our blood, it's in our bloodstream. That's what it is. Right,
Absolutely.
Leila, I'm going to have
Thank
to love
you.
you and leave you. It's been wonderful chatting to you. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much indeed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you look after yourself. Thank you.
Kisses to all of you. I
Indeed,
love you, and
kisses,
let's keep
indeed.
dancing.
Thank you. We'll keep dancing. Thank you very much, Leila. You look after yourself. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Salama.
Sunday and be with me tomorrow with another guest, another debate. Thank you. Lots of love. Thank you. Allah.
Habibi.